Appreciate y'all for being here. James Ingram. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you are here with me, and
I appreciate that.
you already know. So what we're going to do today is watch one of my friend's documentaries. His name is G Shoes, Gary. Well, his name is Gary, but aka G Shoes. He put together a documentary called 10,000 Voices, and it's about pretty much the issues that are taking place in society today. I have not watched it yet, so what I'm going to do right now is, it's my first time watching it, do a reaction video. But before I get into his video, or his videos, because I'm actually going to watch a music video of his, and then I'm going to watch the documentary. But before we get into that, I want to share a little bit about what I'm going to be doing, which is, going over things that touch on politics, social issues, health, and finances. Those are the four things that I'll be covering on this page. Organization, things like that. Just things that will help improve health, wealth, character, knowledge, and freedom, at the end of the day. So, with that said, be on the lookout for other videos that I will be doing. But at the same time, I'll be doing Facebook Lives, and I'll also be doing YouTube videos. So that's just something to keep in mind. All right, so before we get into the documentary, we are going to watch. I've seen this video before, but I'm showing it again just so others can see it. We're going to watch this video.
I'm a little flame, so don't wear me
That's really good.
down. It's right of you to feel me. I'm 10 feet from the ground. You started this fire.
That's a really good shot.
And now you don't know how to stop this little flame, so don't wear me
All it took
down.
to realize, see through their eyes. Said you were so different, but you lived a lie. Now you have a chance, truth will set you free. So give love a try before you lose everything. Time to be smart and do it cause it's right. Freedom and justice, we will never lose the fight. It's true what they say, the pen mightier than the sword. Now the people are united, we don't need you anymore.
Oh, I believe it. Oh, I can feel it. 10,000 voices are louder than all your guns. 10,000 voices
She can
be
really sing.
silenced by anyone.
We're born equal in the eyes of God. See your deception, see through your facade. They weaponize the truth, you know it's nothing new. We arm ourselves with righteousness, we know what to do. We won't be silent, time to stop the violence. Now we got the power cause we spread the proper knowledge. They forever knowledge, taking over college. You can be yourself, we don't need to rule a tyrant.
That part is really good. Yeah, she sounds good on this song. The message is deep. I guess there have been a lot of people that believe they are being silenced, so I can get that part. Take the tape off, nice. Paint the world with your colors.
I can feel it. 10,000 voices are louder than all your guns.
Music brings us all together.
10,000 voices can be silenced
Police to
by
police.
anyone.
Together it's the only way we'll ever fight oppression.
True.
And when we work together, we can end all this depression. Without a mental progress, there will be no more progression. How many more lives we're gonna spend upon this lesson? Justice anywhere, it's justice everywhere. The love is everywhere, and we came to make it clear. We no longer bow to evil, we no longer live in fear. Won't do your wicked bidding as the crowd begins to cheer.
Okay, G Shoes.
I believe it. Oh,
Her outfit game is on point. She had a few outfits in this video that I'm noticing.
10,000 voices are louder than
Shout
all
out to
your
her stylist, you know?
10,000 voices can be silenced by anyone.
Black is beautiful.
I believe it. Oh, I can feel it. 10,000 voices are louder than all your guns. 10,000 voices can be silenced by anyone.
10,000 voices are louder than any gun, and then 10,000 voices won't be silenced by anyone. Hey, shout out to G Shoes for that, man. That was like I said, I've seen that before, but that was dope. Yeah, so what we're gonna do now is get into the documentary, so I'm gonna X that out. And we're gonna watch the documentary is 2 hours and 41 minutes. But what we're gonna do is watch the first 30 minutes. I'm actually in this documentary, by the way, but we're not gonna get to my part because I'm not actually gonna watch the whole thing. I'm just gonna watch the first, like I just mentioned, 30 minutes, and I'll watch the rest later. But yeah, so without further ado, let's see what he's talking about. All right, here we go. That's a sick intro. Nice. Exploration of consciousness.
Bring what's in the dark into the light
G-Shoes.
and make global conversations like this 10,000 voices where everyone's invited to the table, and it's not just these private think tanks. That's one of my big things that I'm talking about in my book is public think tanks and how we're all a part of the conversation. We're all a piece of the puzzle so we can all see the big picture.
Definitely think it's a really, really great concept. It's always good to see that people are willing to, be the change that is always so often talked about. So very excited and happy to be a part of it.
If I say this shit out loud, they might get mad. I might not make it out of here, but guess what? He told me to keep it $1 billion, and I'm gonna keep it $1 trillion.
Free speech is free speech. If you're gonna have it, let's have it. If we're not, let's censor.
He right.
Let's censor it.
If we're gonna have it, let's have
Let's
it.
all put on the same clothing, and let's all eat the same slop, and let's all believe the same, have the same beliefs. Oh yeah, they have a name for that. It's called communism. Oh man, I shouldn't have said that.
It's getting deep.
Oh well, it's too late.
I do this project where I put up blank canvases in communities and then just leave paints and brushes for people to paint on the canvases. And people are so creative, and it makes me so happy to see what stories they tell of their communities.
Black mothers have to tell our sons that keep your hands on the steering wheel, don't make any sudden moves, don't do anything, don't give them a reason. So yeah, Black lives do matter.
Actually, just recently, my grandpa was diagnosed with COVID 3 weeks ago, and he just passed away last week from it. So that's very close to me, and it has opened my eyes to realize maybe it's not like fake news, maybe it's real. So just gotta take precautions, and like I said, do your research.
And then when they were doing it with the tissue, I was like, for real? They're like, yeah. They're like, we have been a lot of trucks, they're getting pulled out the trucks, and they're like, man, we're looking for the tissue paper.
That's crazy.
Like, wow, it's amazing.
I don't personally know anyone who's died over COVID-19, but I do know my homie was shot over the quasi laws about mask coverings in a public commercial space.
How you know somebody ain't tell that man?
So let me pause real quick because I know someone who actually passed away from COVID personally, and yeah, I just wanted to put that out there.
And look, bro, we're gonna kill your whole family, bro, unless you make this happen, bro. Y'all seen it in the movies. Y'all like it's a game. This shit ain't no goddamn game. Huh?
Yeah, these are heavy questions.
Lit.
Yeah, I'm bad at being put on the spot. I'm surprised I haven't said nothing too crazy. I'm known for saying some craziness, okay? So
I mean, after the last one,
there's no such thing, right?
you're completely normal.
he handled it, so I kept looking over here like, is he okay? He did good.
No comment.
You know, it was huge, so it was my first time being literally surrounded with protests and looting and riots. So it was the first time where I saw 10 protests and riots in a day, just where I was in Los Angeles. And the first time where I've seen 10 helicopters circling my block.
So my man laying on the ground and he ain't struck, he ain't damn moving, and he ain't busting no moves. He pissed me off. He pissed me off because I felt like, bro, you black, bro. Fuck that gun, get the fuck up. If you can't breathe, you said you can't breathe, get your ass up off the fucking ground.
Okay.
Ain't no police gonna hold me down. Ain't no police, I promise you on my life. They'll tell you I'm from Durham, North Carolina. It take when they pull me over, it be 5, 6, 7, 8 police cars. I promise you, and it take 5, 6, 7, 8 on to get me down. So and I still be cold cars talking
AKA.
shit. So I don't wanna hear that lay down. We don't lay down.
Okay.
I'm a little flame, so
I had no idea they were going to show the music video.
down.
So
It's right of you to feel me. I'm 10 feet from the ground. You started this fire.
because we already watched the video, we'll skip past the video. And
How long have you known G Shoes?
I would say at least 17 years or more.
Wow.
How long have I known G Shoes? It feels like forever as long as I known my shoes, like as long as I known a pair of shoes, but it hasn't been. It's probably been for like 6 years.
It's a little over a year or so now. I met him in my workplace.
I would say about a year.
How long have I known G Shoes? I want to say about 10, 11 years.
Ooh, maybe 15 years.
Wow. I've known G Shoes for 5 years now. Well, actually, it's 2021, so that makes it 6 years. So, shout out to you, G Shoes. Hey. Shout out. Hey, we gonna give him a G Shoes, G Shoes, G Shoes, G Shoes. That's for G. I've known G Shoes for almost 6 years now. It'll be 6 years in February.
Oh my God, I want to say over 7 years now, maybe about 5, 6 years, let's say, be safe.
What is the most memorable, most touching, or the funniest memory you have about G Shoes?
I would say just having him come by my place and performing, hearing him out. Always had good advice, and we always had the music in common, so that was real cool.
Literally, we outside his studio, siclogic studio. We recording. I'm shooting with my camera. G tell me he gonna kick the ball, and we're gonna try to make like he kick it in the basketball, right? But G Shoes, G kick it. That's where he get his name from. Shoes, if y'all know that. His foot like glue, like soccer player, like he's a beast. So I say, I'm gonna cut it, I'm gonna edit it, G. I say, you just kick the ball, I'm gonna film you kicking it. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna film just the ball going to go, and I'm gonna edit it and put it together. I'm gonna make it like you kicked it in the goal. He said, cool. He bounced the ball one time. I'm getting the camera ready. He kicked the ball, and I'm looking at him, and the ball goes dead in the net. Swish! And I'm saying, damn. He like, yo, you get it on camera. I'm like, nah. After the ball went in the net, I hit record, but it blew my mind though. So you had to be there, but
hey, I gotta give him one of these. You didn't record it? You did not record him kicking the ball in the net and decided to record it after it went in the net? I gotta give you it.
Boy, if you don't get... Come on, man.
G, a motherfucker. He could kick.
I know he's very picky when it comes to what he puts in his body.
Well, we do meal prep daily, so we have a couple moments. Nothing really pops out at the time, rather. So I'll probably say our daily interaction is always something that we laugh about and/or smile.
Going down to Venice Beach and meeting him for the first time, he was comical, he was hilarious. And there was the situation when we made
I love her shirt. Let's give her applause. June 19th, 1865. This is the day we call Juneteenth. Yes, Juneteenth, which is the day that those who were enslaved were free from bondage. So shout out to my woman here, my sister here, for wearing that shirt.
California, where I was in his first video, and the police were there, and he says, I don't have to go home. I live here. And it was just funny because the police were just trying to harass, but he still made it. He stayed in his lane.
When he had his smoke shop in Venice, and I used to be a crochet artist, and he was the first smoke shop to start selling my crochet lighter bags. So I remember that stood out because he was being supportive.
Oh God, I think my funniest memory is going out to dinner one time. It was me and a group of friends, and I think we were just so happy it was Friday, and we were just embarrassing him left and right, to the point he says, I'm never going out to dinner with you guys anymore.
How do you feel about being part of this 10,000 Voices music video with G Shoes and Alice?
I feel good. I appreciate the opportunity, and you know, let the people know what's going on around the world. It's a good thing.
It's an unbelievable feeling for real, because Siclogic, G Shoes, the reason why I'm pouring this right here. He the reason why I lost 55 pounds. Ha! Hey. You know, lemon and water. So it's a
Shout
feeling.
out to
It's
G Shoes,
unbelievable.
man. Shout out to G Shoes for being a positive, you know, a positive beacon of light. You know, when it comes to health, that's really dope.
Feeling. You have to be here to feel it, and you have to know shoes, and you have to be following the Siclogic message. He'll show you the light. So it feels like this sticky liquid water.
It's an honor. It's an absolute honor. Good to be part of a movement, something great.
I am so happy to be here. It's also one of the first events that I've been to in like 6 months. It's the first time I'm seeing lots of humans at once. So it's a big deal.
It's something new for me. I've been a part of a couple videos, but this one has been a little bit more interesting. And it's a new take on it. I like it though.
I was honored to be asked, yeah.
Well, it's actually exciting. It's good to, you know, hear anybody's voice. I spoke with G Shoes on the phone maybe not too long ago, and I actually told him that when you're of a certain race and you don't have to get involved with certain things, and you still put it all on the line to make sure that people are heard, people are understood, that fairness is kind of distributed across the board, that's a really commendable thing to do. Yeah.
This is applause for G Shoes. That's for you, G.
How do you feel about putting together this 10,000 Voices music video?
Oh man, I feel really, really good, you know? Sky's the limit. Basically, I reached out to the universe, and the universe spoke. You know, it was about the people, for the people. So I had to invite some, you know, real organic, just the homies from back in the day. You know, some of these people I've known for a long time. It was cool to see people come out with different signs and different messages. And, you know, some people may even disagree, which is beautiful. The more you can get different point of views, the more whole the conversation is. And that's really what I'm trying to do with my movement, with Siclogic, and with my book as well, which you can check into, which is called Alpha and Omega of the Soul. And it's also, the subtitle is A Holistic Exploration in Consciousness, because essentially it's about different experiences, different point of views, and, you know, hearing from everybody. I have a theory that, you know, we're all a piece to the puzzle. And for us to see the big picture, we have to talk to everybody. We have to take our experiences from everybody, so, and everything. So that's why I tell people to, you know, to look into religious texts. I tell people to look into philosophy, look into politics, look into history, look into all of these things, look into science and psychology and sociology, epistemology, and all the ologies, right? The isms. You know, look into these things so you can get a full spectrum and therefore come out much more knowledgeable, because it's going to be very difficult to find 100% truth in any one thing or any one subject. So you have to be very eclectic in the way that you go about gathering information. And that's what this documentary, the vision of this, was to hear from different people. And actually, I'll start it from the music video. I was like, hey, why don't y'all come out, just put what you want to put on a sign, and let's amplify that to the world. And now we're about to hit the internet with that and get y'all doing it in the house too. Get y'all doing it on the streets, whatever. Get y'all doing it on your social media. And you know, we're gonna do the 10,000 Voices hashtag so that we can, you know, get people around the world into this global conversation. It's really what I want to do, is start a global conversation. And I think one of the ways that we can improve society today is to be more sophisticated in our conversation. You see, a lot of the big conversations are done in the...
That is major. Let me rewind that, actually. That's major.
Ways that we can improve, what I'm going to do is start a global conversation. And I think one of the ways that we can improve society today is to be more sophisticated in our conversation.
I definitely 110% agree with that. I think one of the reasons why there is such a disconnect between, you know, the left and the right, or the All Lives Matter and the Black Lives Matter, and etc. You know, just the disconnect between these two sides. There's always sides, and the main disconnect, or the main reason for the disconnect that I've been noticing, is the way that we speak to each other. Also, you know, you tie in the reason, like how invested we are in the side that we are on. We don't even want to hear the other side. But I think one thing that he just pointed out, which is being more sophisticated in your conversation, I think that is, hey, shout out to G Shoes.
You see, a lot of the big conversations are done in the dark, away from the people. And it's time to change that. It's time to shine the light on what's in the dark, time to bring it into the forefront, and let's hear from all people. Let's hear from all walks of life.
10,000
Back to what I was
voices.
saying, I mean, you're not gonna find all truth in one side.
So true.
That's what's so interesting about it. That's why I want to hear from different people.
Or at least
You're
I
not gonna
agree.
find all the truth from this religion.
Talk
or you're
that
not gonna
talk,
find all
G.
the truth from this branch of,
Talk that talk,
of
G
science.
Shoes.
Or from this color, or that color, or this side of the political spectrum, or that side. So you really, if you are really interested in truth, if you're truly interested in knowledge and wisdom, then you'll learn from all people. And that's what this is really about. That's at the base and the heart of this 10,000 Voices movement. And this documentary is to say, hey, you all have something to teach us. I doubt that anybody you've ever met, including myself, is 100% right from birth to death, okay? Nobody's 100% correct and knows everything, but we all know something. And therefore, you should go in any conversation assuming that you have something to learn from the other person. So, you know, I really just provided a forum. You know, I provided an avenue for a lot of these people to speak, and I was so blessed to get the feedback and get the excitement and have so many wonderful people come out and be a part of the music video and to be a part of the documentary. I have a lot of material coming out with Siclogic and Alpha and Omega of the Soul, a holistic exploration of consciousness, which is now a book, an audio book, an ebook, and I've have over 100 videos expounding upon the book just alone already, on top of this documentary that we did today to personify the entire concept, 10,000 voices, and getting the voice of the people to the universe.
guess.
Show us your protest sign. What made you choose this message, and what does it mean to you?
All right, this is my protest sign right here.
Do your research, elevate your mind.
Do your research, elevate your mind state.
I didn't
So
see
it's
state,
just, people need to do their research and not just take the media or Instagram or whatever they're getting their information from. Just do your research and know where you're getting this information and where you stand. And that's mainly it. Do your research and know who you stand for and what you represent.
Mel on the track. Hey, y'all already knew. Y'all know I was
Mental
bipolar
health
schizophrenic.
matters. I like that.
That's what they call me. But yeah, this what matters. You know? You see?
That's so true. That's so real.
Mental health matters. Mental health means everything to me, man. Because I am mental health. I'm the face. I'm you. You're me. We're champions. We're eagles. We're everywhere like the air. They're never there. We can't be stopped. We won't be stopped. I chose this sign because mental health, that's the only thing that matters other than the ecosystem. 50% mental health, 50% the ecosystem.
For knowledge is infinite. We should always be seeking to learn and overcome maybe our fears, learn what we perceive as different. The more that you continue to seek knowledge, I think the more you grow as a human being. And then, of course, being a Black woman, Black is beautiful, with the emphasis on is, because sometimes, you know, it can be perceived. I mean, you think of a black cat, right? It's a negative notation when it comes to Black. I think people should stand proud in who they are, and I think I'm beautiful.
So my sign is, conversation brings revelation. So what I truly believe is that some conversations need to be had, meaning that we have all of this knowledge. One person has the answer, the other person has the question. I believe that's why we have a lot of confusion in this world. And having a revelation is more than just getting an answer. It's something that's the next step above, like supernatural, some would say.
I think that we should do what we can to cultivate as much creativity as we can in communities, give as many tools for creativity as we can. So this is everything to me.
I feel like a lot of people, you know, they make a lot of claims, but they don't put forth certain actions that will back their claims, you know. Start to understand what's going on with your society, you know.
Talk to us then.
With the laws. So get out there and vote on something. Or don't be mad when stuff happens.
We're all as one. We eat, sleep, bleed the same. We die the same.
I have to stop real quick because I have to say, like, I really like the messages that these individuals are giving. We need to be moving, or I don't want to say we need, but we should be moving in this direction as a whole. Not just one community, but as a population. It would be nice if we could move in the direction that all of these individuals' messages are relaying.
The same. There's no difference. Skin color should not ever be a division for people to hate each other.
My sign says police the police. We're government for the people, by the people. And the rules that apply to the people also apply to the police.
So my sign says, if Black Lives Matter, vote. And the reason why I made this sign is because I know a lot of protests have went on. 2020 was quite a year. And I wanted it to be more so we can't just make noise when things are uncomfortable or when it's popular or when social media is covering it. We still got to take the actions necessary to make the changes.
Yes.
And we can't just take whatever is handed to us. We got to make these changes ourselves. And part of making these changes is by voting. Yeah, so if Black Lives Matter, vote.
I made 2 protest signs. The first one, again, is the 10,000 Voices protest sign, which is the voice of the people. I didn't tell anybody they had to do any one thing. I told them to speak their mind, speak their truth. And that's what it's about, you know? G Shoes featuring Alice, great feature on the song. So This is the single and the documentary that you're watching. We had the raised fist, which for those who don't know, is a symbol that dates back centuries. Essentially, it was started as a symbol against oppression. It was solidarity and unity against oppression. It stood for many things. It stood for communism, to be honest with you. It stood for, most importantly, in my eyes, revolution. Obviously, multiple factions over the years and over the centuries have adopted this raised fist, which again stands for revolution and has stand for things like Black Power and you know, the Black Panthers, and that's just to name a few, because again, this has a rich history with the raised fist. So the way I see it, and the reason I represent it and feel the need to represent it, is because it's revolutionary, and anything that took the world to the next level in society was always a revolutionary action. And anytime the people became more free, 9 times out of 10, it was from a revolutionary action. And there are many different forms and ways that revolution can be done, and I'm trying to elevate and evolve the way that we revolve. So that brings me to my next sign, which is the evolution of revolution.
Okay.
Which is the logo, it's the theme, the credo, if you will, of Siclogic Records, the evolution of revolution.
I like
Because I have a saying again in my book, Alpha and Omega of the Soul, what good is a revolution without an evolution? You see what I'm saying? So if you overthrow the powers that be, if you overthrow the government and you replace it with something worse or something more oppressive and something less freeing, then really what are you doing? You know, what are you, a lot of times tyrants have overthrown tyrants to become even more tyrannical, even become more oppressive. So we're trying to evolve. So yes, we need revolution, but we need an evolution of revolution. This is very, very important, and I think that it's crucial right now for the global conversation and the conversation that's going on in America, because we see a lot of people up in arms, and obviously if you look into what's happened in 2020 in America and around the world, a lot of people are just in wanting something to happen, and we need something to happen. We need something now, but we need to plan. We need to be smart, because if you're devolving, then the revolution is not going to be beneficial. It's not going to be what you want. And it's a very systematic, long-term way of thinking. You have to really have planning in mind. You really have to have long-term thinking in mind for society to really improve. Because if you just say, hey, let's take out this police force, or hey, let's take out this governor, or let's take out this president, or we'll topple this oppressor, and you come up with something worse infrastructure, worse legislature, you could have a very, very ugly situation very, very fast. And we did see degrees with that as well, with some of the riots that took place and some of the things, some of the, you know, movements that have been going on. And again, I'm with you, like we need something to happen, but I'm not with you as far as devolving society. So that's where we're coming in with the siclogic to really evolve the society. And that's where, if you get into my work with the Alpha and Omega of the Soul book, I have an entirely new psychological model, a psychosocial model akin to Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Okay.
And it's like a super sophisticated version of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Has a lot of lineage to what is known as spiral dynamics, you know, which was founded by Claire Graves and then progressed further by Don Beck. If you look into things like spiral dynamics, or if you're aware of spiral dynamics, you'll have an idea of kind of
taking it really deep,
where my model is rooted from, and it's taking it to the next level, or that's the idea. So again, mine is the holistic evolution of consciousness. It's a brand new psychological model to bring up society in levels of consciousness, both on the individual level and on the sociological level. So that's what my signs mean. 10,000 voices, once again, as I said, you know, it's a hashtag, it's a single out now, and it's a documentary. So
Nice.
this is what we are bringing to the table with Siclogic.
All right, so that wraps up my 30 minutes of watching this documentary. I think that there are a lot of different messages in this documentary, but when you bring them all together, it just shows how many different messages all have a positive direction. And I think that's a really good thing to have and to put out to the public. So shout out again to G Shoes for putting this together. If you are interested, you could go to YouTube. As you can see, it's called 10,000 Voices. And this is the final cut. So 10,000 Voices, official documentary, final cut. It's on the page is called Siclogic, and that's spelled SICLOGIC. So again, shout out to G Shoes. Shout out to 10,000 Voices. Shout out to everybody who was a part of this documentary for voicing their opinions on how they perceive issues in society. Lastly, I want to say that these videos that I do will not normally be this long. They'll be roughly 2 to 3 minutes, maybe max. But again, starting out, these are some interesting things that I wanted to make sure that I put out. So again, thank you for watching, because you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you are here with me. And
I appreciate that.
So until next time, good health, happiness, and success. Peace.